In 2023, a major Indian bank discovered that hackers had been silently inside their network for 6 months. Here is the most shocking part: the hackers did not steal any data, they did not delete any files. Instead, they changed transaction records by tiny amounts, 1 rupee here, 2 rupee there, across millions of accounts. The bank's encryption was working perfectly, the firewalls were active, the antivirus was running. But the hackers had violated something more fundamental than any of those tools could perfect. They had broken the one principle that every cybersecurity expert builds their entire career around. It is called the CIA Triad. And in next 15 minutes, I am going to explain exactly what it is, how attack breaks it, and why understanding this single framework is what separates entry-level IT people from genuine cybersecurity professionals. Let's go. CIA Trade stands for Confidentiality, Integrity, Availability. These are the three core goals of every cybersecurity system in the world. Every security control, every policy, every tool that a cybersecurity professional uses is designed to protect one or more of these three things. Let me give you the simplest possible analogy. You have a locker in your college. Confidentiality means only you can open it, nobody else. Integrity means whatever you put inside stays exactly as you left it. Nobody changed or tampered with your items. Availability means whenever you come to open it, the locker is working. Nobody has blocked your access. Any one of these three breaks, you have a security failure. Here is the key insight that will change how you look at every attack. Almost every single cyber attack violates at least one of these three principles. The ransomware attack at AIMS Delhi violated availability. The bank transaction attack I mentioned in the hook violated integrity. A data breach at any Indian company violates confidentiality. Once you see this framework, you cannot unsee it. Let's start with the C, confidentiality. Confidentiality means the information is only accessible to people who are authorized to see it. If unauthorized people can access your data, confidentiality has broken. Not because they changed anything, just because they could see something they were not supposed to. The real Indian example is the Aadhaar database. Over 1.3 billion Indians have their biometric and personal data in this system. If a hacker could access and read this database, confidentiality is violated. Nothing was changed, nothing was deleted, but data that should be private is now in the wrong hands. How do organizations protect confidentiality? There are three main ways. Number one, encryption. This converts your readable data into unreadable code that only someone with the correct key can decode. There are two types of encryption you must know. First one is symmetric encryption. It uses the same key to lock and unlock like a physical for a padlock. AES-256 is the standard used by Indian banks, government systems, and WhatsApp end-to-end encryption. Asymmetric encryption is the second one, which uses two keys, a public key and a private key. Public key that anyone can use to encrypt a message for you, and private key only you have to decrypt it. That this is what makes HTTPS works on every website you visit. And number two, access control and least privilege. Not everyone needs to access everything. A junior bank employee does not need to access the CEO's financial records. The principle of least privilege means giving people only the minimum access required for their job. This is one of the most tested concepts in cybersecurity interviews. Number three, data classification. Organizations label their data by sensitivity. India's government systems classify data as top secret, secret, confidential, and restricted. Companies typically use public, internal, confidential, and restricted. Each classification levels get different protection measures. Real world attack that breaks confidentiality is a data breach. When hackers steal credit card numbers from a shopping website, they have not changed anything. They just read what they should not have. Confidentiality broken. One Indian example every engineering student should know: sharing passwords over WhatsApp or leaving a laptop with sensitive data in a public place. Both are confidentiality violations, not because of any hacking tool but because of human carelessness. The most sophisticated encryption in the world fails the moment you share the key with the wrong person. The next one is I, integrity. And this is exactly what the bank attack in our hook violated. Integrity means the data has not been modified, tampered with, or corrupted by any unauthorized people. The data is exactly what it is supposed to be: unchanged, accurate, and trustworthy. Why does this matter? Imagine you transfer 5,000 to your friend. Between your bank servers and your friend's bank server, a hacker intercepts the transaction and changes the amount to 500. Your account shows 5,000 deducted, your friend's account shows 500 received. Integrity has been violated. Both parties believe the data is correct, but it has been slightly changed. How do organizations protect integrity? The primary tool is hashing. A hash function takes any input and produces a fixed size output called a hash or checksum. The critical property is even changing one single letter in the input completely changes the output hash. This makes tampering immediately detectable. The real world example is when you download software from the internet, the website shows you a hash value after downloading. You compute the hash of the file you receive. If both hashes matches, the file was not tampered with. If they do not match, someone modified the file during your download. This is how all serious software distribution verifies integrity. The most commonly used hash algorithm today are SHA-256 and SHA-3. MD5 was the old standard, but it has been cryptographically broken. Never use MD5 for security purposes in 2026. The real world attack that breaks integrity: man in the middle attack. When a hacker sits between you and a website and modifies data flowing in both directions, integrity is broken. Another critical example is SQL injection, which we covered in our previous video, can be used specifically as an integrity attack. Directly modifying database records, changing your bank balance, altering your medical records, modifying your exam results. Every single one of these is an integrity violation at its core. And next one is the A, availability. And this is the pillar that DDoS attacks and ransomware target directly. Availability means that unauthorized users can access systems and data when they need it. The system is up, running, and responsive. If you cannot access your own legitimate data, availability has been violated. Hospitals need 24 by 7 availability. A 5 minutes outage can cost a patient's life. Banking systems must be available at all times. UPI must work at midnight when someone needs to pay a bill. Any downtime is not just an inconvenience, it is a security failure. Then, how do organizations protect availability? There are four main methods. First one is redundancy. Critical systems run on multiple servers simultaneously. If one server fails, others immediately take over. This is why UPI rarely goes completely down. It runs on multiple redundant systems across different data centers. The second one is backups. The 3-to-1 backup rule. Keep 3 copies of data on 2 different types of storage with 1 copy stored offset. Every serious organization follows this rule. If you are advising a company on security, this rule is always part of your recommendation. The third one is DDoS protection. Services like Cloudflare absorb attack traffic before it reaches the actual server. They detect unusually highly traffic and filter out malicious requests before the server ever sees them. The fourth one is disaster recovery planning. Organizations define two critical numbers: RTO, recovery time objective, the maximum acceptable downtime after a failure, and RPO, recovery point objective, the maximum acceptable data loss. These two numbers drive every backup and redundancy decision in the organization. The real world example is the Ames Delhi ransomware attack from our previous video violated availability. Doctors could not access patient records, not because data was stolen or modified, but because it was made unavailable. Ransomware attacks both availability and confidentiality simultaneously. This is called double extortion. Now, the most important part: how professionals actually use this in their daily work. When a SOC analyst receives a security alert, their first question is always which pillar of the CIA Triad is being attacked. Is the attack trying to read data it should not? Is a confidentiality attack? Look for unauthorized access, data exfiltration, or credential theft. Is the attack trying to modify data? That is an integrity attack. Look for injection attacks, man in the middle, or insider threats. Is the attack trying to make systems unavailable? This is an availability attack. Look for DDoS, ransomware, or resource exhaustion. Framework also guides how security professionals design defenses. When a company asks, "Do we need more encryption?" This is a confidentiality question. Do we need a better access logging? This is an integrity question. Do we need more redundant servers? This is an availability question. For your interviews, if they give you a scenario like a bank's website down for 3 hours, the answer is availability violation. If it is like a hacker stole customer data, it is confidentiality violation. Or it is like a hacker changed customers' account balances, it is an integrity violation. Know this framework code and you will answer every scenario based cybersecurity interview question confidently. The CIA trade is not just a theory you memorize for an exam. It is the mental model that every security professional uses every single day to analyze threats, evaluate defenses, and respond to incidents. Now that you understand the framework behind cybersecurity, it is the time to understand the tool. In our next video, I am going to show you why every single cybersecurity professional uses Linux instead of Windows, what Kali Linux actually is, and the exact commands you need to start practicing today, even if you have never touched Linux in your life. Save this video, share it with a friend who is confused about cybersecurity, and hit a subscribe. This is Vinay, and I will see you tomorrow.